Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my unedited podcast. Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my number 7 unedited podcast. And today I am not as tired as I was in my last video. I am a lot more energetic, and it is a glorious day here in Canada. Do you guys know where I live now? I guess. Oh well, that's fine. I don't care. As long as you guys don't find me or whatever, and try to send your subscriber submissions that way and try to force me to make videos of them, that would be fine. So yes, today I am in a pretty good mood, I guess. It's pretty good, pretty sunny day, pretty sweet day, and yeah. But our topic is the complete opposite of that emotion. It is a pretty deep and pretty dark topic, and actually I just want to jump into it right now because there's a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of stuff I want to talk about in this topic, and I've actually been fascinated with the topic for many years, but for some reason, I guess, online there's not a lot of sources that talk about it. If there is, it's always kind of censored or something like that, so the topic of today's discussion is called snuff films. Now, for those who do not know what are snuff films, I'll give you guys a brief my own description, and then I'll give you guys a Wikipedia description, just to make it more official, I guess. Snuff films are basically movies where actual people are murdered on the camera. They're actually killed on camera, and it is a film that is used to distribute for financial purposes or commercial purposes. That is the definition of a snuff film. The fact that it's circulated and promoted for commercial purposes is really important, because I guess if you look at the deep web, there's a lot of stuff that videos that people are murdered in war and stuff like that, and those are just videos of people getting killed and murdered. But snuff films are for commercial purposes. Distributed by a movie company who want to make money from the fact that some human being was murdered on camera. That is basically what a snuff film is. I could give you guys the official definition, but I guess I covered it pretty well. I'm pretty proud of myself right now. So yeah, that is the definition of snuff film, and I'm gonna talk about a couple of snuff films throughout history. One that actually I watched personally. Actually, there's two that I've there's one that's kind of half a snuff film, and I kind of want to talk about that too. I'm pretty passionate about that one because that's really what got me into this kind of trying to find information about these kinds of movies and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about that, and then we're just going to have a fun time with snuff films. That sounded wrong if it was out of context. I don't know. This is my 7th one, so I'm pretty loosey-goosey with you guys now, so I'm just going to kind of go crazy. Just please don't turn it off though. I'll do the whole horror studio 1 thing if you guys want me to. It's like yes, and then yes, and then there was a girl. Like, if you guys want me to do that voice, I could, but I'll save that for my other videos. So all right, without further ado, let's get into it. So snuff films, the definition of snuff is actually, I find it really interesting. It was from England in the 17th or 18th century. The word snuff itself actually is really symbolic. Snuff is, it actually addresses a candle, and the fact that if you put something over the candle, the fire, and then no more oxygen is able to be produced, the fire will go out. And that is kind of like snuff, and I guess that's kind of like symbolic or a metaphor for life itself. The fact that you take someone's life by just snuffing it out of like that. So I don't know if that really means anything, but yeah, that is basically it. And a couple of films have existed in the past for snuff films. One I watched that is definitely I could call a snuff film is an internet video. Is it a snuff film? No, it wouldn't be a snuff film because they weren't commercially distributed. Shit, it is not a snuff film. Okay, I made a mistake. It is not a snuff film, but I still will talk about it because someone does get killed in the video, and it's very sad, to be honest. It's called Two Guys, One Hammer. Many of you will probably have heard of it or know it by now. It's basically these two teenagers in Russia, or man, I'm pretty sure it's Russia or one of the kind of European countries. I'm pretty sure it's Russia though. Basically, they're mass murderers. They go around killing people and they videotape it as well. The specific incidents, they're in the park, and there's an old man. What they basically do is they hit the old man and just basically knock him unconscious and take a screwdriver and continuously go screw it into his stomach and until all his intestines basically come out and his stomach is open and he dies. I guess it's called Two Guys One Hammers because they use the hammer to hit the man and knock him unconscious. What's really sad about the story actually is because the man, he was actually recovering from cancer. That's how the story goes. He was a grandfather. He just had a new granddaughter, and he was recovering from cancer. He had just beaten the cancer, and he was on his way to exercise to kind of spend and then go home and spend a day with his wife and kids kind of thing. But on his way, as he was exercising, these two serial killers come out of nowhere and for no reason just hit him with a hammer and knock him out and eventually kill him as well. So, and I mean, I watched the video personally. I think it came out when I was in high school. I heard a lot of people talking about it. I never had the balls to actually watch it until a few years after it was released. And what I did, I was one, of course, I was pretty terrified. But one thing that really, I guess when I watch these videos, the things that really kind of gets me, it's not the fact, yes, of course, the fact that someone is dying on camera is horrific, but just the fact that the reactions of the people around them, I mean, they are laughing and giggling and they're basically having a blast. They're having a good time. It's like a YouTube video, you know? They're just talking about, it's like they're vlogging. It's like a vlog, but inside the vlog there is murder involved. That's basically the idea of these videos of these two guys. And of course it wasn't commercially distributed for money, for profit, but they did distribute it online just to show off to their friends. I think they even posted it on Facebook or something, which is, it's fucking absurd. But I mean they can do what they want to do. I mean, they're not really normal people, I guess, anyways, if they think like that. If they just go around killing people for no reason, then, you know, you can't really go delve into their mind and their mentality anyways. So that's one I did watch. Another kind of, it's not a snuff film actually, but it was so, actually when this movie was released, it's actually a Japanese movie. It's called the Guinea Pig series. And if you guys are into horror, into this kind of gore, violence kind of stuff, it was actually released and people actually thought that it was a snuff film because how realistic it was. Basically, the whole plot of the story is, again, it talks about these girls that are captured and basically tortured by these men. I think in the second movie that the guy was dressed up as a samurai or something, and basically they cut off their limbs, they torture them in various ways, cutting off their ears, taking out their eyes, cutting off their skin. I guess I'm not even sure, maybe raping them as well, just doing all these kind of things to them. And it was in the 80s when I guess this kind of snuff film kind of culture kind of started to began. So people actually took it serious, and I think they thought that this was real as well. It was super realistic. Personally, I never watched them. I never watched a single one, and I probably will never watch one of these ones because, to be honest, I'm not really fucking interested. I mean, there's no plot. It's just basically these guys torturing a girl. It's fucking, I mean, even though it is fake, we know it's a movie, it's an actress, it's a film set, it's it's for distribution purposes, it's a film. But just the fact, like, the idea of it just sickens me, and I will probably never watch it. But the one that I did kind of watch was actually like a montage of it online. It was actually on YouTube, and it was, I think, the 4th episode in the Guinea Pig series, and it was truly horrific because I watched it, and then I didn't even have to know the context really of what the hell was going on, but I was just so scared. And there was music playing over it as well. They basically took all the various scenes of that movie and cut it into this, like, and they played like this screamer, like, you know those rock songs? I don't even know, fuck man, I know what it's called, but I'm losing it right now. No, I forget the name, but it's just like, it's a lot of screaming. The guy's like, ah, and that's the whole song kind of thing. There's that kind of music playing in the back, and it's actually the stories of this mermaid. This mermaid gets captured or saved by this guy who puts her in a bathtub. But every day he's like obsessed with this mermaid. He's this really fucked up guy, right? And he's obsessed with this mermaid, and he's always like drawing paintings of her. But every day he sees this mermaid like begging him to let her, go back in the ocean. But every day this mermaid's getting worse and worse, and she's getting like infections and shit. So there was like bubbles, and there was like all these like cysts, and all these like, it's like all these like all this kind of stuff growing on her body as she sits in the bathtub, because she's not used to that environment, and she's basically decaying away, this beautiful girl, and she's getting really messed up, and she's bleeding, and she's like vomiting and really sick, and it's fucking gross. It's like, I watched just the imagery and just that montage, and I thought it was, wow, it's really disgusting. And yeah, that's basically, I guess that's the Guinea Pig series is basically one of the most infamous like fake snuff films out there in the world, and one of the originals as well. So if you guys are interested in the topic, you can go take a look at that. There's actually another film. It's by Nicolas Cage. It's the 7mm. I've never watched that either. It talks about the whole, what's it called? The whole culture of it. I mean, I may be interested, but I'm not that interested, I guess. I mean, I do have a life. I do have other things I got to do. But yeah, I mean, that's, you can check that out if you guys are interested in this topic as well. And actually, we're going to get to the main course of today, which is a movie that I watched that is really infamous in the kind of snuff film culture as well. It is called Cannibal Holocaust. It's an Italian film in 1980, and it was released back then. It's an English-speaking film, and this is what really, I've always really been fascinated with these kind of cannibal movies. This was actually the first cannibal movie that gave it kind of like a notoriety of a wide stream of notoriety to this kind of cannibal movie, especially in the forest, and with that kind of violence and kind of murder and sex and that kind of stuff. The reason for that was because this film was filmed so, it was basically like the Blair Witch Project, but in the 80s, because they filmed it all on with like a video camera kind of style. So the whole thing was like a lost footage kind of thing, where the guy actually finds lost footage of kids, of these teenagers or these young people that go into the Amazon forest to find and interview cannibals. But the story goes that they basically provoke the cannibals too much, that they start to, they do horrendous things to these cannibals. I mean, they are cannibals, but they basically rape their tribeswomen. They basically kill their people. They injure their people until these cannibals decide to strike back and murder these people. Now, what's so interesting isn't just the plot and that, but Cannibal Holocaust, the director of Cannibal Holocaust, actually was charged, because when this film was released internationally, people actually had thought that the actors inside the film had died. And that was actually a very smart thing that they did, because if you guys think, the Blair Witch Project is so smart, in 1999 when they filmed The Blair Witch, they basically did it as like a lost footage kind of thing, and people were like, whoa, this is like real lost footage. But in the 80s, Cannibal Holocaust already did that. Basically, the director told the actors they signed a contract that each of the main actors could not appear in any films for 1 year, because the marketing, they wanted to market Cannibal Holocaust as a kind of like a real kind of film, like a real snuff film, a fucking real snuff film, where the actors were actually murdered on screen. And he wanted people to think that, and to make profit from that kind of gimmick, that kind of marketing strategy. But because it was so successful of a marketing strategy, that I think the FBI, just basically the cops, basically arrested the director and put him in court on trial, saying that, yeah, you fucking murdered people on camera. And then basically the actors all had to show up to court to prove that they weren't dead and they weren't murdered. That's how realistic it was. And I think there's a couple of reasons why people took that film so seriously. I think one definitely has to do with this one scene where this tribeswoman was basically she dishonored her tribe. Okay, that's basically the story. I think that's the girl that these. Okay, if you guys. Okay, I'll just get a bit into the plot, because then I think I'm kind of confusing people. Basically, the people that are filming the cannibals are basically the bad guys, because they're the people going in to disturb the cannibals, and they actually raped one of the Yokomo. I'm guessing it's Yokomo. I wanted to say Yokohama. I forget the tribe's name for the cannibals. If you guys can comment in the comment section below, that'd be awesome. So, back to the story. So they raped the woman, the tribe's woman from that tribe, and I guess in that culture, if that happens, you lose your virginity, or you lose your sacredness as a woman. You get murdered. So basically, it's one scene. It's an infamous scene. You can probably find this online if you put like just Snuff film. It's such an infamous scene. Basically, it shows the woman being pulled. So there's a pole going from kind of like fish, but basically it's a person from the bottom, her bottom all the way out, and the pole is coming out from her mouth, kind of thing. So and that's the whole scene. And they filmed this, and basically the director exposed the fact that they filmed this by basically having the actress sit on a stool, and then she was like. The pole, she had it in her mouth, and she was supporting it with her mouth, and that's basically how they made the scene. But it just looks so realistic. I mean, even to this day, when I watched the film myself online, it looked really realistic as well, because they did like a 360 shot. They panned the whole shot, and it looked like she was actually being pulled. Like, she looked like she was actually fucking dead. It looked that real. So that's one of the reasons I think why people thought it was real, because of that specific scene, and also because a lot of animals were killed. And I guess that's the other controversy with this film, Cannibal Holocaust. Despite the fact that no humans were harmed during the making of this, many animals were harmed during the making of that. A lot of animals, I think they killed a tarantula, they killed a pig, they killed a couple of more, I think. They killed a muskrat, I'm pretty sure. And the one that really got people, I think, was that they killed a turtle. And the reason for that was because that was a really long scene where basically the actors they take the turtle and then they just basically mutilate the turtle to eat it, because they're like hungry as shit. And that scene, I guess, raised a lot of controversy about the film and animal rights and all that kind of stuff. And I guess all that kind of hype and all that kind of stuff added together with the fact that the film was so realistic and no one could find the actors that had taken part in the film. People actually thought that the film, killed the actors on screen, maybe. So, that's that's basically why Cannibal Holocaust. If you guys do want to check it out, you can definitely go find it. Again, Snuff films. There's a lot of people getting killed. You can find that on the deep web and all that kind of stuff. I think Snuff films right now, it's more become a general term, like not general, like a past term, like a nostalgic kind of term, or a urban legend. I don't think any film has really commercially been released where someone has been murdered on screen. Hopefully that never happens, because that's just messed up. It's always become this kind of urban legend, because every single time somebody basically says, oh yeah, that's a Snuff film, it always gets debunked, and it's just kind of a marketing strategy it ends up to be. And it's happened quite a bit over history. So I guess Snuff film has kind of become this kind of just an urban legend that's existed instead of an actual thing. So that is the topic of Snuff films. Hopefully these videos I just want to tell people more about the world that we live in, and a lot of interesting stuff. I believe that this culture and this interesting, fascinating topic should be spread with all of you guys, and that is the reason I make these videos and these podcasts, is because I want to talk directly to you and tell you maybe what interests me and what I think will interest you. So Thanks a lot, guys. We are at 10,000 subscribers already. Hopefully we can get to 20,000 soon, and I'm not sure what I'll do. Maybe I'll even reveal my face. Who knows? Anyways, I want to thank all you guys for watching my video. Check it out. I have new podcasts uploaded every single day. And yeah, snuff films for ya. Thanks a lot, guys. This is Horror Studio 1, and I will be out. Bye-bye.